You're caught in a chess game, even without realizing it. Your life is a chessboard, but not one played gracefully at marble tables to the clink of glasses and calculating gazes. Your battle unfolds in silence, in utter darkness, with pieces you don't know how to control and decisions seemingly dictated by panic rather than a deliberate plan. And the worst part is, you don't understand who you are in this game. A pawn, a queen, an outside observer, you are the king, yet so consumed by the desire to appear strong, wise, irresistible, that you've missed the main point. Your goal is to survive. Your purpose is to exist consciously. Your task is to protect what is most valuable. But you stubbornly push forward as if victory lies in meaningless, chaotic advancement where you are absent. Listen, a king doesn't need to fuss to be powerful. He needs to know who he is. But you've lost your way. Every day you wake up with an obsession to prove something, to someone, to everyone. You rush through life trying to control the entire board, unable to even manage your own thoughts. Remember, you are not just strong or fast. You are the king, for without you, the game ends. But you've allowed cheap pawns, today's allies, tomorrow's betrayers, to hold your fate in their hands. Do you truly believe that success means total control, being everywhere, knowing everything? That's not strategy, that's chaos. True strategy is born in silence, in the ability to pause when necessary, in understanding that not everything shiny on the board is valuable. You've lived too long, blinded by the belief that brute force is invincibility. But tell me, how strong are you if you cannot protect your inner peace? How high will you soar if you don't even know what you crave? It's not about a lack of victories, but a lack of purpose. If you don't know what you're protecting, any small thing will throw you off course. Do you know what distinguishes a great player? They don't start by studying the enemy, but by knowing their king. They study its weaknesses, its capabilities, its true position. They understand what's at stake. Because if you don't know who you are, you won't even notice when you lose. And here's the question that should have tormented you for years. What are you truly protecting? Don't you dare tell me about your job, image, reputation. Those are just mirages, ghostly smoke. True value is hidden in the invisible, in the fortress of mental health, in the harmony of emotions, in the unshakable nature of personal values, in the awareness of your purpose. This is where your power lies, your unyielding foundation. For when it crumbles, everything else is dust. But you seem to hide from this, shielding yourself with empty ambitions and false praise. As if success is thunderous applause, not inner conviction. As if universal admiration can grant you peace. How mistaken you are. The world may applaud you while you're falling apart inside. What good is a mighty queen if your king is about to fall? You've played this game as if you were invulnerable, as if pain was unknown to you, like a rook gliding unhesitatingly in a straight line. But that's a lie. You are the king. And a king is unhurried. He observes, assesses, protects his borders. His victory is not in a furious attack, but in strength of spirit. He wins by knowing when to strike and when to pause in waiting. For a king who charges into a reckless attack is doomed to perish. Do you understand now? Every betrayal of yourself for the sake of conformity is like a silent check to the king of your soul. Every time someone else's opinion becomes more important than your own feelings, you expose your soul, making it vulnerable. Every choice to wear a mask instead of being authentic is the loss of a valuable piece in your inner game. And after this, do you wonder why you lack peace? It's natural, for you haven't built your inner castle. The outer walls are built, but inside, only ruins. You are engrossed in external tactics, missing the main point. The real battle unfolds within you. You don't need to know how to manipulate others. It's important to realize what you are willing to sacrifice and what will remain inviolable. This is where the path of self-discovery begins. Only one who knows themselves can build a strategy that won't destroy them from within. Only one who knows their worth can protect what is most important without confusing it with the secondary. For one who doesn't know their worth will ultimately give everything away for nothing. And do you know what's scariest? Most often, this happens with a smile on their face. How long will you betray yourself just to fit into someone else's mold? How long will you hide the tremor of fear behind a mask of ostentatious ambition? And how much longer do you intend to call this incessant hum of anxiety that keeps you from closing your eyes success? It's not about triumph. It's about holding tightly to what gives you support. It's about protecting your soul even when the world around you descends into chaos. For if you lose yourself, the game will be lost. There's a harsh truth often left unsaid. The most formidable enemy isn't the one standing before you with a weapon. It's the one you've allowed into your fortress, into your heart. Your unrestrained thoughts, your distorted emotions, your unhealed wounds, this inner chaos that repeatedly undermines your endeavors. This inner traitor doesn't shout. He whispers poison in a quiet voice. He convinces you that you're not good enough, that inevitable failure awaits you, that it's better to stay in your comfort zone, in your cage. And you listen to his words because this voice seems painfully familiar, because you've heard it so often that you've started to believe it's the real you. But that's a lie. You are the one who hears this voice. And if you hear it, then it's within your power to change its message. True leadership isn't born when you show others the way, but when you rein in your own mind, when you quiet the whisper of fear, when in the very heart of chaos, you choose clarity of action. For chaos doesn't disappear, it's eternal. Only your ability to navigate it changes, and that ability is forged from within. The world applauds winners, but true admiration is evoked by those who survive without losing themselves. Success without peace is merely a shout dissolving into an echo. Empty applause, a crown whose weight outweighs its value. So what do you crave? To win at all costs, or to endure without betraying yourself? Only one of these paths grants you freedom. And no, it's not about becoming invulnerable. It's about knowing your weaknesses and wisely protecting them, about acknowledging that you're not immune to pain, but capable of remaining strong despite it. It's about creating a shield woven not from pride and arrogance, but from unwavering principles, a clear purpose, and precise understanding. For when you know what you're protecting, you won't sell yourself out at the first attack. Paradoxically, the deeper your self-knowledge, the less need you have to prove anything. The more stable your inner core, the weaker the influence of external chaos. The more you care for your inner king, the less anxiety the battle around you causes. True strength isn't flashy, it's felt deep within. It's the serene calm possessed by people who don't need to shout. It's that profound silence that unnerves those accustomed to constant noise. It's that confident, penetrating gaze that unequivocally declares, "I know who I am and I won't dance to someone else's tune." Remember the last time you were alone with yourself and honestly asked, "What do I truly want to protect? What is invaluable to me?" Because until you find that answer, you will act impulsively, not strategically. And those who act reflexively are doomed to defeat. True victory goes not to the one who charges forward at all costs, but to the one who clearly knows what they will never abandon. And you? Do you already know what you will never give up? If not, then any offer will seem tempting, any voice wise, and any defeat final. But that's a deception. It's not true. Failure doesn't define you. You are defined by what you are willing to fight for, even when it seems everything is going to hell. Protect your mind, your peace of mind, your essence, your dream. This isn't selfishness, it's wise calculation. It's a leadership position. It's a sign of maturity. The king who survives isn't the most agile or the flashiest. He is the most discerning. He doesn't trade the essential for the momentary. He won't exchange inner peace for applause. He doesn't crave recognition because he knows his worth doesn't depend on whether he is seen or not. And here it is, the bitter truth of life. If you don't protect your king yourself, no one will do it for you. You are the center of your universe. And if you fall, it doesn't matter how many pieces remain on the chessboard. The game will be over. So start today, not with grand declarations, not with drastic changes. Start small, get to know yourself, look into the mirror of your soul, and ask yourself mercilessly honestly, what am I neglecting that I should protect at all costs? When you understand this, you will stop drifting. You will act consciously. And then, even by taking just one step, you will achieve more than those who flounder blindly. True victory isn't a triumph in the moment. It's the ability to preserve yourself, not to lose your essence in the whirlwind of events. Do you know what fatal mistake plagues those who lose in this great game of life, even without realizing it? They mistakenly believe that protecting what's most important means building insurmountable walls around themselves. They think that caring for their inner world is building a fortress that isolates them from everything. They naively consider self-knowledge an act of defense, when in reality, it's a display of incredible strength. Let me reveal a truth few are capable of grasping. Self-knowledge doesn't make you vulnerable and fragile. On the contrary, it transforms you into a formidable force. For when you clearly understand what you are unwilling to lose under any circumstances, when you have crystalline clarity about who you truly are and what boundaries you will never allow to be crossed, you become utterly unpredictable to this world, which thrives by skillfully manipulating those who lack a solid foundation, who have no roots. Look around. Observe carefully. The vast majority of people are driven by fear, a sense of inner emptiness, a constant feeling that something is missing for complete happiness. And what does this lead to? It makes them incredibly vulnerable and easily controlled. Just touch their inflated ego, and they immediately collapse like a house of cards. Deny them deserved approval, and they will fall to their knees before you, begging for forgiveness. Promise them a bit of recognition, and they will unhesitatingly sell you their soul. But there are those who dance to a different tune, who have rejected the rules of this game. People who have passed through the fire of self-knowledge, descended into the dark labyrinths of their soul, and embraced their inner demons. They cannot be subjugated. You cannot buy them with applause or intimidate them with threats of oblivion. They have weathered the storm within themselves and emerged renewed. They don't need anyone's approval to feel complete. They are masters of their own destiny. And this is what I want to talk to you about today: the chasm between those who crave power and those who seek clarity. The first is a prisoner of their insatiable hunger, perpetually starving and never satisfied. The second is free, guided by a bright purpose. Look around, everyone strives for power. Economic power, influence, power over others. But true power isn't external. It cannot be accumulated like treasure. It is born within. And most importantly, it doesn't announce itself loudly. True strength is quiet. It doesn't demand recognition. It's the strength that allows you to look into the mirror of your life and say, "This is me. These are my values, and I will never betray them." It's the strength that allows you not to shout about your might, because every action, every decision you make is silent proof of your strength. Your life is your statement. What then is the source of this inexhaustible inner strength? Clarity, not the kind acquired with money or inherited. No, this clarity is hard-won, forged in the crucible of trials, watered with sweat and blood. Gaining clarity isn't just knowing your desires in times of prosperity. It's the ability to cling to your purpose when the world around you crumbles. It's the capacity to face an approaching storm with your head held high and proclaim, "You won't break me." It's when everyone around you flees in panic and you remain unmoving like a rock, not out of stubbornness or slowness, but because you know your place in this world precisely and clearly see the path you must take. And believe me, my friend, this is precisely what instills terror in the hearts of those who still wander in darkness. Clarity is a powerful weapon that causes scorching discomfort in others. In a world where doubt has become the norm, a person walking with unwavering confidence shines like a lighthouse, but is perceived as a threat. By their example, they remind others that yes, it is possible to have a clear direction. Yes, it is possible to live with a high purpose. Yes, it is possible to fill your life with meaning if you have the courage to stop living to satisfy others' expectations. But no one will tell you this, because if you knew this simple truth, you would stop being puppets in others' hands. You would refuse to buy unnecessary things, spend your life on a job you hate, and tolerate what slowly but surely kills you from within. This is why this world so often elevates those who bow their heads and persecutes those who see further. The submissive are merely puppets, while the discerning are potential rulers. And here we are again at the chessboard. A king devoid of clear vision is merely a pawn in a royal robe. He thinks he's controlling the game, but in reality, he's acting on instinct like an automaton. He panics when he loses a rook. He drowns in despair when the queen falls because his strength isn't within, but in the pieces surrounding him. But a king with true clarity can stand alone on an empty board, surrounded by silence and enemies, and still play with unwavering confidence. But be careful. Clarity isn't arrogance. It's not the conviction of knowing everything. It's the humility that allows you to acknowledge the limits of your knowledge and the wisdom not to make decisions based on those gaps. It's understanding when to speak and when to remain silent, when to attack and when to wait, when to give your all and when to retreat to preserve what cannot be lost under any circumstances. Self-knowledge isn't just about knowing your strengths. It's also about recognizing your weaknesses, your blind spots, your obsessions, your unhealed wounds. Because if you don't see them yourself, others will certainly use them against you. If you don't recognize your vulnerabilities, anyone can hurt you. But when you know them, acknowledge them, and work on them, you regain control. No more automatic reactions. You choose your own path. This is a game on another level for those ready to make choices. For in life, there are only two types of people: those who merely react to circumstances and those who make their own decisions. Some are puppets on life's chessboard, others are creators of their next move, and only the latter are capable of leading, first and foremost, themselves. Here it is, the scorching truth. If you don't define your own life, others will. Not necessarily with malicious intent, simply because a vacuum always seeks to be filled. If you don't fill your life with meaning, the world will fill it with noise, endless consumption, comparisons, and others' expectations. And you, without even realizing it, will start living someone else's life. A life that looks attractive but has nothing to do with you. What's the point of winning a game whose rules you didn't invent? That's not victory. It's merely beautifully packaged slavery. It's success with the taste of defeat. And the scariest part is that you might not even realize it until it's too late. One day you'll open your eyes, look in the mirror, and suddenly see your true self. You'll realize who you are and why you live exactly as you do. And that moment will be a crushing checkmate. You'll understand that there's no saving move if you've lost touch with what's most important. And that's when balance enters the scene. Another forgotten pillar of the inner leader, for it's not enough to simply know yourself. You need to take care of yourself. And I'm not talking about relaxing spa days or lazy weekends. I'm talking about protecting your inner self, nourishing your mind, feeding your values, filtering out meaningless noise, filtering everything that enters your head. Understand, the mind is fertile ground. What you sow, you will reap. What do you choose to plant? Clarity or chaos? If you spend your day absorbing everything that distracts, listening to what frightens, comparing yourself to fake lives, what do you expect from your inner world? Peace? Unlikely. Purpose? Even less so. And then decay begins. Imperceptible at first, then increasingly obvious until one day everything outwardly seems perfect. But you will already know that you've lost the main battle within yourself. And here it is, the bitterest truth. A facade can be rebuilt, but when the king within collapses, everything around turns into meaningless tinsel. That's why I won't tire of repeating, protect your inner world, your mind, your balance, your purpose. Not because you are weak, but because you are irreplaceable. And when you lose yourself, the whole world loses its colors. If doubt still lives within you, ask yourself just one question. How many decisions in your life have you made out of fear? And how many guided by clear understanding? The answer, without equivocation, will show you whether you are truly living or just drifting. If you've reached these lines, if every word of mine resonated with your soul, that speaks volumes. It means somewhere deep in your consciousness, a voice whispers, "This is for me. This is not a coincidence." This is your subconscious pushing you towards awakening, for you are at that very point of no return, that very decisive moment when you either continue to drag through someone else's life or finally decide to take your destiny into your own hands. Have you ever felt like you're moving forward but completely aimlessly, as if every achievement brings less joy, as if every victory is just a temporary patch, unable to heal the gaping void within? It's not about your wrongness, but your detachment from reality. When you lose understanding of what you're protecting, everything around you dims, loses meaning. And this apathy, like poison, slowly contaminates your soul. The soul doesn't perish from a sudden blow of fate. It's killed by a monotonous, aimless existence. When the important is replaced by the urgent, when you burn in the fire of momentary tasks, forgetting the main thing. The irony of fate, like a cruel joke, is that everything necessary for change is already hidden within you. You know it. You've felt it. But fear paralyzes your will, preventing you from taking the first step. You're afraid that once you step onto this path, there will be no turning back. And that's true. There's no returning to your old life. For once you've tasted clarity, you won't be able to settle for a pathetic imitation. This fear binds you, yet within it lies true freedom. A damn beautiful, intoxicating freedom, available only to those who dare to look deep within themselves and proudly declare, "This is me, and I will never betray myself." So here it is, the final question that can no longer be ignored. Will you continue to drift like a twig in a turbulent river, or will you finally start to play for real? Understand, I'm not trying to awaken a motivational monster within you. I'm not going to play dramatic music and shout that you can do anything. It's about something else. It's about an honest encounter with yourself, about the courage to remain true to yourself. It's about diligent self-work, brick by brick, principle by principle, about building a strong foundation within yourself. It's about the art of saying no to tempting offers that lead you away from your true path. It's about moving forward with clear intention, even when everyone else is aimlessly scrambling. And if you realize this, if it penetrates the very core of your being, the chessboard will cease to inspire fear. You no longer play to earn someone's approval. Your pieces no longer move dictated by fear. You will no longer sacrifice your king for a pathetic pawn of recognition. You play to protect what is invaluable to you. You play consciously, with open eyes, and this makes you internally invincible, untouchable, unstoppable. So don't tell me you can't. Don't say it's too late. You don't need more time. You need a firm decision. Do one thing today. Protect your core, your center. Let it be a small decision, unnoticed by others, seemingly insignificant. Because in reality, you are doing the most important thing, guarding your inner kingdom.